What do you want to know? She was a cellist, selected for a scholarship at Juilliard. It was in the local paper. I'm more of a Bon Jovi fan myself. Don't read the paper, do you? Yesterday, Monday the 9th, at approximately 9 p.m, according to the coroner, we got a call from the mother just after 10 p.m. Do I have an alibi for last night? Do I? Okay. I was here, and there are video monitors that will prove it. Thanks for ruling me out, genius. In her bedroom. She was naked. Strangled. No signs of sexual activity of any kind. It was a weird scene to look at. There was one thing, but it's strictly between you and me. Dorota had a gold coin in her mouth. I'm being serious now, Sam. Not a word of this. It's the one thing only the killer would know. Obviously. Anyone who walks in, predicts a murder, then that murder happens? Suspicious. They're as thick as thieves, covering for each other. Well, except the male one. You'll see what I mean. Born here, runs the local guest house. Lovely lady. Where are you going with this, Sam? What's she told you? Look, if it's about the pills, I already know. She told you she's taking pills, didn't she? Let me handle Violet. She didn't kill anyone. It is, and that's where it's staying. You don't need to see it, Sam. Violet can get confused at times. Just keep doing what you're doing and we'll get along fine. Any more news on Oscar Wainwright? I'm a bit busy, Sam. Maybe you can go on my behalf. Yep, that's what you told me too. Not a suspect. Just the tarot readers. No one else is remotely suspicious compared to them. Oscar? Have you spoken to him yet? It's not him. Oh, well, I'll just cross them all off then. Can you back that up? For all three of them? Got any reason for saying that? I'll look into it. Hunches don't buy lunches. Just keep looking. Dorota's an only child. She lived with her mum and dad. Monday night was movie night, so they'd go and watch the 8 o'clock at the Odeon. Dorota would get the house to herself. They're devastated, naturally. They left town to stay with relatives. They didn't do it, Sam. Although, perhaps I should have made them stay. Violet told you about Mr. Hedges? Why are you lying to me, Sam? Nobody else knows about Mr. Hedges, and neither do you now. Mr. Hedges was one of August's homeless, actually, probably our only homeless person. We're pretty well off here. No, we called him Mr. Hedges because, well, that's where we found him. He died. At the guest house. I asked Violet to put him up one night, and of all the nights he could have died, he croaked it at the guest house. No, of course not. That's what Violet thinks, but I just drove him off to the morgue and had him processed. Don't tell Violet that, though. We need her on our side. Violet thinks it's a big secret, but it's not. I'll spare you the details. Figures. Got any proof? Get proof. Then I can haul them in. Good work, Sam. I'm impressed. You're just going to sit there and fidget? If you have anything else on Zach Weston, let me know. That's what he says, but no one can back him up. He's on my radar now. I think you're supposed to tell me that. If he was taking photos of Dorota, maybe he fell for her? And the feeling wasn't mutual. Artists have muses, apparently. Wish I had one. And I'm all for a good boudoir picture, but who are they for? There's definitely a strong connection between those two, then. Perhaps go and ask him about it? Well, unless they were for Oscar, I don't know. Unless there's someone else about to come out of the woodwork. Sam, do me a favour, go easy on Violet. If we need to get anything out of her, let me deal with it. She'll open up to me. What do you know about it? She thinks she was abducted. Obviously, it's all fiction. It's probably a bit more nuanced than that. But maybe. Yeah, I pulled in a few bug-eyed aliens, but they wouldn't confess. We've got a murder to solve. Can we talk about this later? Never heard them together before. It rhymes, doesn't it? That's right, Sam, we don't. And Dennis isn't important because he's now Victor and works in a call centre in Sweden. So let's just keep our minds on the case, shall we? Alice visited me a few times, saying she had a stalker. You know, hid behind bins, took photos from his car, frequented the same supermarket she did. I didn't really think anything of it. She's a small-town celeb, he's a small-town celeb stalker. But I did learn one thing. Fine. Learn from your own mistakes. In fact, there's no such thing as a small stalker. His flat was a shrine to Ellis, and he'd somehow decided that sacrificing her would summon a demon that would do his bidding. By the time I got to Radio August, it was all over. No, obviously not. Ellis was tied up. She had weird symbols painted all over her body. At that point, Dennis was probably going to sacrifice her with the very blunt bread knife he was carrying. But Poe stepped in to save the day. She'd be dead without him. He hit Dennis over the head with one of his old antiques, so I guess they have some value. Yes, Sam, he'd summoned a demon. I am that demon.
You fail.
Unbelievable. No, I arrived too late, but fortunately Poe was there to save her. He hit Dennis over the head with something and set Ellis free. I've got it written up in a report somewhere, but it's one of those cases I try to keep quiet. That's out of respect for August's tourism, not covering up my own incompetence. Why? I'm assuming that's just a gut feeling. If you actually knew who the murderer was, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Look, I see you're starting to care for these people already, but Violet's been watching them like a hawk. If you can convince her, you convince me. Well, then I've made a mistake. Whoops! A few hours in the cell works magic on most people, even tarot readers. Look, I see you're starting to care for these people already, but Violet's been watching them like a hawk. If you can convince her, you convince me. Fine. Let me do the paperwork. I'm starting to regret hiring you. Maybe you should concentrate on something else. Sam, I've got some heavy rain news. Lawrence Petrovsky, that's his real name, and no, he's not a Russian spy. But he does have a criminal record. He was charged with the murder of a 21-year-old artist. Looks like he got off on a technicality by all accounts. About 3 months ago in Hong Kong. Be careful, Sam. If you're going to ask him about this, it could be a flight risk. And you know, there's a good chance he could be the killer. Door's behind you. It didn't look like that to me. I've seen the videos, Sam. She's grabbing onto his arm and he's just prying her fingers off. I know how to watch a video, Sam. I'm sure. It sounds like Rain's got a bit of a murderous streak in him. He should probably get that looked at. I suppose it did look a bit like that on the video. He managed to grab her ankle as she went over, but he just didn't have the strength to hold her. Still, he kept pretty quiet about that, didn't he? Mind you, I guess it's not the kind of thing you brag about, really. So maybe the guy saves people. He's still on my suspect list. How did they even get in that position, Sam? That's the question you should be asking. Sure, he tried to save her, but did he? Yeah, Dr. Tanner. She's checking up on Violet. Why are you still giving her a hard time about this? She's had it tough enough already. She's had a shopping list of medical issues. This is just the latest thing. She might seem tough on the outside, but she's frightened, Sam. About a lot of things. She wanted to check Violet was taking her pills. Apparently Violet told her to call me to confirm. She's dealing with a lot of things. Just go easy. The doctor said the aliens are delusions, a side effect of her previous alcoholism. She's been sober 6 months, and I don't want to change that, Sam. The neuropathy she suffered due to alcohol is causing her problems. The pills are to try to help with that, but guess they have side effects too. Memory loss. She's not a monster. Just a little girl lost. She was drinking to forget. She ran with a bad crowd a few years ago. They branded their backs with symbols, basically a cult. The leaders were imprisoned, but they left a lot of baggage behind. You won't get any mileage talking to her about it, I assure you. What's going on, Violet? Is everything okay? Well, what are you doing here then? You said you'd help me. I just need you to keep an eye on the guests and let me know if you see anything strange. So, if you're here, who's doing that? What's the matter? I'm not surprised. He told me to add you to the suspect list. For whatever reason, he thinks you could be involved in Dorota's murder. That's to be expected. I told Sam to do whatever it takes to get the job done. Maybe strange is one of those things. Violet, what have you been saying? Is this why Sam thinks you're a suspect? Have you stopped taking the pills? Look, just take the pills. Dr. Tanner said you'd start hearing and seeing things again. You're no good to me like that. Just take the goddamn pills. You can feel safe. I've already got somebody posted outside the guest house. It's an unmarked car. But you know Danny, don't you? Leyland's kid? Any problems, you let him know. Off you go. I'm being subtle. I don't want to see you back here, okay? You got anything to report, give me a call. Any problems, talk to Danny. Danny, remember? We just talked about this. I said I'd post somebody this morning, and I did. Then I told you it was Danny. Take the pills, Violet. Take the pills. Okay, good. Just look after yourself. Violet. I'll handle it, Violet. Just get back to the guest house. Unless something else you need? Violet, if this is about releasing people from prison, the answer is no. I'm going to need hard evidence for that to happen. Now, go. Back to the guest house? Miss Castle, I'm surprised to see you here. You're a prime suspect, and your alibi is that you were in the guest house with another prime suspect at the time. It doesn't look good for you. Everyone has a problem with you, Bronwyn. I can arrest you for something right now. How does perverting the course of justice sound? Yeah, perverting the course of justice. Oh, you are pushing me today, young lady. Not really. Currently it's you and your friends and whoever Sam comes up with. I just don't know what your motive is. I'm not sure that's intrinsically evil in terms of motives, but hey, I'll put it on the board. Yes, you keep saying that, yet you're here when I'm trying to work. So, Sam already told me. You and Lexi are lying for each other. Sam has very big ears. So it's true then. Sam says you're lying. Don't push me, Bronwyn. You said you were with another one of the readers. All I'm saying is that Violet didn't recall seeing any of you. Did she tell you that? She's playing with you to get you to open up. Oh, I don't think you should be throwing accusations like that around, not in your current position. Miss Castle, more unexpected pleasures. Something about a message you wouldn't deliver? Did you want him to be a special friend? Is that why you killed his girlfriend? Yeah, let's do this again. Chief, I didn't kill Dorota. I was in my room. Oh, but you can't prove it, Bronwyn. You're going to jail for a long, long time. You don't know what we've got, Miss Castle. That's between Sam and I. Ray, I'm busy. You going to turn yourself in? You don't want to see me when I'm angry. A woman is dead. Go play card games somewhere else or whatever the hell it is you do. Then you're wasting my time. What is it, Miss Taylor? I didn't hire Sam, the Shaw family did. Tarot cards tell you that. Listen, Sam gets results. Nobody knows how, but the results are got. I want the killer found as quickly as possible. You got a problem with that? The hiring of Sam is no concern of yours either way. Are you doing your own investigation? Great! Let me know when you find out. I go after bad guys. If she's a bad guy, then I've got it in for her. In hindsight, that does look like a good idea, doesn't it? We didn't believe you. We still don't. Well, let me see, Detective Taylor. Ask the surveillance cameras. I was here till I got the call. Have you met him? Miss Taylor, is that a contradiction? It's not what you said in your written statement. Yes. Yes, you did. Still sticking with that, huh? Why? What are you going to do? I've got my eye on you, Lexi Taylor. Lexi. Rain. Are they even your real names? Is that a threat? If anything happens to the Shaw family, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Leave. Now. Oscar? What are you doing here? I know. We've already talked about this. You said you'd get into Bronwyn Castle's room somehow and have a look around. To find evidence that ties her into Dorota's murder? Maybe you're not the right man for this job. I don't know. Maybe ask if you can go around. Women like vulnerable men. I don't know. Do I look like vulnerable men? Just do whatever you have to, Oscar. I've got to concentrate on some other leads. So, you can go now? Sensing the thing with Bronwyn went badly. I need all hands on deck. You're a hand. At least I thought you were. Never mind. At least you tried. Well, that's strange. That's very strange. Doesn't seem like something she'd do at all. You don't even look like you make a good couple. Maybe she was on to you. No, you've done enough. I'll keep up my end of the bargain, make those speeding tickets go away, though technically You'd have more points than a hedgehog if I kept them. And if I do catch you speeding in August again, Oscar, instant ban. Capiche? Yes. It's language. That makes me look cool. You can go now. Oscar, good. You got my message. Got some things to show you. Does, this mean anything to you? And what if I showed you this? Do you know her? And if I do this? No? Anything? That'll be all. You can go now. Oscar, you can't just go around kicking people in the balls, even if you are the vicar's son. I'm not disputing that, just, it's a crime. I'm not going to lock you up, you idiot. Not this time. Just consider it an official warning. It's okay. You're going through a lot. We'll catch up later. Good. But if you do it again, tell him it's from me. Off you go. Sam, let me bring you up to speed. I know what you're going to say, and I don't want to hear it. I've arrested Bronwyn. She's named a second victim, and as far as I'm concerned, the safest thing to do right now is have her behind bars. Those tarot readers have been doing my head in all day, talking to me like I'm a suspect, asking ridiculous questions, and then denying they've seen me at all. So what's done is done. If anything, I've just made Alice safer. You can go. Sam, I've arrested Lexi. Don't look at me like that. It's not your decision. I considered locking both of them up, her and Bronwyn, but I've settled for Lexi. Those tarot readers have been in and out of my office all day, asking stupid questions and then denying they've even been here. Locking Lexi up is going to rile Bronwyn. She'll make a mistake, and I want you to be there when it happens. So what are you doing in my office again? Lexi stays here till we have what we need. Sam, I've just arrested Bronwyn and Lexi. I know I don't really have anything, but they have been winding me up all day, coming in here, talking to me like I'm a suspect, and generally being weird. So, they're safely behind bars now, and presumably Ellis will live. Just keep an eye on Rain. Perhaps he'll take over the job if no one else is around. Good, you got my message. Chief Inspector Dupont. I wasn't sure you'd come, but I suppose you're between jobs? Well, we both know that's not true. But I like it. Sam, that's your cover now. So, the job. Dorota Shaw, 21, accomplished cellist, redhead. Strangled. I know who did it, but I need proof. It's the tarot readers. Yes. Keep up, Sam. That's the girl who was murdered? Because they predicted it. The older one, Bronwyn, she came into my office last night talking all crazy and saying Dorota was in trouble. I did my best not to lock her up. It all sounded crazy to me. Tarot, the spirit world, cards that move, trans-dimensional thingamajigs? To be honest, I thought she'd probably been smoking something, and that's why I didn't take it seriously. Because things, I don't have enough on her. That's where you come in. The free guest house stay isn't free. I need you to work the case and report back to me. Find out things from the inside. Can you do it? Oh, okay. Well, that's that then. I thought you'd want a shot at redemption, but guess you're turning yourself in. It's what you want, isn't it, Sam? To stop running? To give up? Didn't think so. Okay. I'll be telling everyone that you've been hired by the Shaws because obviously local law enforcement is either too incompetent or too overworked to solve anything. That gives you a license to talk to people, but only notionally. Don't actually touch people or annoy them. You don't have any real authority, understand? But you help me out, I'll help you. Do I have to spell it out? I'll make your problem go away, or at least sink it to the bottom of a pile of paperwork. Your old town? The problem? You don't get that. There's no badge and gun, just a hope and a promise. Come and find me when you're settled. This is Second Chance Sunday for you, Sam. Don't blow it. Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating? It pains me to think that I was even on the list, but I'm ruled out because we have video footage of me in the station at the time of the murder. Rain says he was praying in his room, alone. Nobody corroborates. What was Rain doing last night? You say Bronwyn and Lexi's alibis don't add up. Bronwyn and Lexi say they were in the same room last night. Shame they can't agree which one. As for Bronwyn and Lexi, I need you to ask what they were doing last night. Compare alibis. Bronwyn and Lexi lied about their alibis. I'm thinking what to do about it. Bronwyn was logged into a call centre system called Taratasm. I heard the recordings from last night and it's her voice. So as much as it pains me to say it, Bronwyn isn't a suspect. But Lexi and Rain still are. The tarot readers have mentioned a job. We don't know what. You think Violet's a suspect. I don't. End of conversation. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, but I've got that in hand. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, and you found out she's taking pills. Perhaps they're related. That's it. Apparently, Lexi used a Ouija board to get Dorota's name. The tarot readers mentioned Birmingham. You're looking into it. There's some talk about a traveller, whatever that is. Oscar's not a suspect. He was playing football last night with lots of witnesses. Dorota's boyfriend Oscar is in the clear as far as I'm concerned, but I'm still waiting to hear what he tells you. According to Oscar, Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet, which is strange. And finally, you pulled the name Zach Weston from somewhere, saying he's the town photographer? I've never run into him. Still, I guess I'm not in the papers that much. Zach Weston says he was in his studio last night. Rain met Zach already, touting for work. Zach told Rain Dorota would be alone last night. Zach says he's sleeping with Violet, which I doubt. Zach did other photo sessions with Dorota. Boudoir. I wonder what else he's not telling us. Rain still says he was praying in his room, alone. Bronwyn and Lexi lied about being together last night. You're still following up Birmingham. Keep me posted. Yeah, you mentioned the word traveller to me, but he's nothing. Oscar's in the clear. He was playing football last night. He said that Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet. Not many people would know that. We've got a new target. Ellis Monroe. Ellis said she was in a relationship with Dorota. She kissed a girl and she liked it. She told you where John Pope, or Poe, is going to be next. Rain still says he was praying in his room, alone. You say Bronwyn and Lexi's alibis don't add up. Rain's confirmed he met Ellis at the radio station. Picking his next victim, maybe? Lexi's doing some investigating for you. As if that'll help. Rain told you about the butcher of Birmingham. It's a thing. Made an interesting read. Those tarot readers hang out with death. His explanation of it, it's all fairy tales, so I'm not getting involved. Violet told you about her brush with aliens? You seem far too interested in those kind of things. Zach Weston says he was in his studio last night. No one corroborates. He said he's been drugging girls at his studio. I'll be looking into that. And he keeps asking Ellis to pose nude. Could be motive. Rain's still a suspect. No corroborated alibi. Bronwyn Castle has one. Lexi Taylor doesn't. I got my search back on Rain, or Petrovsky, as we should call him. He's got priors that you're looking into. Rain was tried for murder. He said he was trying to save the girl, Cheng, on the rooftop. I saw a video where he's letting her go. Rain met Ellis when he was touting for work. He gets around quickly. Zach seems to be a fan of serial killers. At least, you've told me he has an extensive book collection on them. Violet's just admitted being at the crime scene last night with Zach. It's not looking good for Zach now. You found another connection between Zach and Ellis, selling Poe's pendant in exchange for nude photos. Zach has a thing about this, doesn't he? Violet's been doing some web searches on Ellis. You think that's a jealous streak. I think it's a sign of the times. You've still not accepted my friend request, have you? Ellis thinks Violet doesn't like her very much. I'm not sure I like you very much. Where's the proof? Violet painted the word whore on Ellis's car. I'm not sure where you're going with this, Sam. Maybe she was tagging? Isn't that what the young people call it nowadays? Ellis knows Violet because of the free radio project. I think you've narrowed it down to Zach, Rain and Lexi. That's just my professional opinion, mind you. Feel free to ignore the person who hired you.